Welcome to Somaliland.
It's VP Watus. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, man. If it's your first time being here, man, just subscribe. If you are here and you've maybe forgotten to subscribe, please check the red button and subscribe, man. Just smash that button. Just one question. What exactly do you know about Somali? As a filmmaker, I'm a storyteller. I'll tell you both the positive and the negative side. You all know the negative. This is what the media has shown you about Somalia.
Somalia, one of the most dangerous places in the
In the
world.
failed state of Somalia, piracy has become a lucrative business.
Somalia.
Somalia.
It is not a safe place.
My love for Africa has led me to realize we need to start appreciating our own continent, and that's why I'm going to give you the other side of the story. Trust me, this is the side you've never seen. Some of you have, but for the sake of everyone who don't know, I'm here to share with you what I found on this exciting channel. It's going to blow your mind. Just stay tuned, relax, and enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe. Here. Welcome to the Horn of Africa. Willie?
Somalia is a country located on the east coast of Africa, forming the shape of a horn. The country was known as the Land of Gods to the ancient Egyptians, the land of the tallest men to the ancient Persians, the land of cinnamon to the ancient Greeks, the land of aromatics to the ancient Romans, and the land of the unicorn to the ancient Chinese. Frankincense, one of the gifts of the biblical three wise kings, came from ancient Somalia. To this day, the Roman Catholic Church still sources all of its incense exclusively from Somalia, which remains the world's largest producer. Ancient Somalis were the first to domesticate camels in 2500 BC and spread it to ancient Egypt and the Middle East. Somalia today still has more camels than any country on earth. The Somali people are one of the oldest Muslim nations in history. A 1,400-year-old mosque in the city of Zayla dates back to the very foundation of Islam, when the early Muslims received refuge from the Aksumite Empire in the Horn of Africa. The medieval Silk Road gold trade between Africa and Asia was founded by Somali merchants from Mogadishu, who established a colony in modern Mozambique and extracted gold from the mines of the Mono-Motapa Kingdom of southern Africa. Madagascar was named after Mogadishu.
Okay. 5 seconds for you to subscribe, because I'm 100% sure you didn't know about this.
Marco Polo, during his stay in Imperial China, confused the wealthy Sultanate of Mogadishu with the large island in the Indian Ocean. The Somali Empire of Adal introduced cannon warfare to the African continent in its war against Abyssinia and the Portuguese Empire. Adal was also the first African power to defeat a European power on African soil since the Battle of Cannae between the Carthaginians and the Romans 1800 years earlier. During the war, Cristavo da Gama, son of Vasco da Gama, was defeated and killed by the King of Adal. In the year 1660, the Portuguese surrendered to a joint Somali-Omani force at Mombasa in modern Kenya. Somali merchants introduced coffee to the world.
Coffee. No. Just do it. Just subscribe, man. It's not that hard. It's not expensive. It's free. It's free to subscribe.
Grown in modern Ethiopia, Somali merchants exported the now famous stimulant from the Somali port of Berbera to Yemen and the rest of the world in the 15th century. Somali merchants introduced exotic animals to Imperial China. The Somali word for giraffe is still used in China, Korea, and Japan. In southern Morocco, Somali merchants established one of the largest and most popular mosques. It's still known as the Somali Mosque. The oldest African community in the United Kingdom was established by Somali sailors. The only Muslim power in Africa during World War I was the Dervish state of Somalia. The Dervishes fought the longest anti-colonial war in African history and built fortresses across East Africa. The Somali Republic is the only African country whose borders were created by Africans. In 1960, the northern and southern parts of modern Somalia formed a historic union to establish a new country. Women in Somalia voted in elections before women in Switzerland. The first head of state to peacefully relinquish power in Africa was the Somali president Aden Abdulli Osman. In 1962, future Somali President Ali Shamarke went on a state visit to the United States and was welcomed by President John F. Kennedy. Both presidents were assassinated in the 60s, despite their popularity with the masses. Two of Africa's and the Middle East's largest film festivals were the Mogadishu Film Festival and the Mogadishu Pan-African Film Symposium. The most expensive African film ever made is the 1982 4-hour-long epic, The Somali Dervish.
I mean, this is just insane. This is brilliant. This is just...
One of Africa's first female fighter pilots was Osli Abade Hassan of the Somali Air Force, who soloed her first flight in 1976. In 1981, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the NBA's all-time leader in points, coached the Somali basketball team. During the African Championship in Mogadishu, the Somali team went from nobodies to continental heavyweights, jumping to Africa's top 3. Somalia was the first African country to sign a friendship treaty with the Soviet Union. 5,000 Somali soldiers and students at one point trained and studied in the Eastern Bloc. Soviet cosmonauts trained in Somalia to prepare for their missions in space. The airport of Berbera, with the longest runway in Africa, was also one of NASA's designated emergency landing points on Earth for the iconic space shuttle. The Ogaden War was the longest conventional war fought in Africa since World War II, with the heaviest mechanized and aerial battles. It resulted in the largest Soviet intervention and airlift since the march towards Berlin in 1945, just to push back the Somali soldiers who had overrun the Ethiopian Empire. The Somali pharmaceutical industry at one point mass-produced 48 essential drugs and was one of Africa's largest hubs for pharmaceuticals. Mogadishu was known as the White Pearl of the Indian Ocean and a major tourist magnet. Somalia built Burundi's Air Force, protected the borders of Tanzania and Uganda, flew jets for Zambia, defended Mozambique from the Portuguese, trained South Africans fighting apartheid, supplied Eritrea's War of Independence, sent troops to Angola, sent medics to Equatorial New Guinea, supported Egypt with naval logistics, supported Djibouti's independence movement, supported Zimbabwe and Namibia's war against the apartheid forces. The country has a rich heritage filled with ancient and medieval cities, castles, towers, and fortresses. Somalia has produced more supermodels than any other country from the African continent. The president of the International Court of Justice comes from Somalia, as does Olympic champion Mo Farah, award-winning rapper and poet Kanan, Nobel-nominated author Nuruddin Farah, U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and many more. The Somali bandy team are the undisputed champions of Africa, as Somalia is the only country in Africa with a bandy team. The ancient Shah board game originates in Somalia and is played from Egypt to Tanzania. The most popular hat worn by Muslim men across East Africa originates and is exclusively produced in the Somali city of Brava. The Somali people are genetically and linguistically closely related to the Afars, the Hararais, the Oromos, the Bejas, the Amharas, the Saho, and other major groups in the Horn of Africa. Somalis are the only African ethnic group to have a sea named after them. Off the coast of Sicily lies the Somali Sea. Despite emerging from a civil war, Somalia still has the most deep-water ports on the African continent. With the longest coastline in mainland Africa, Somalia is one of 5 African countries selected by Rakanshur to become a blue economy giant. Somalia has 52 million heads of livestock, 27 million sheep and goats, 15 million camels, 5 million cows, and one of the richest fishing grounds in the world. Somalia's dairy industry is worth $3.3 billion. According to the Spectator Index, Somalia is also ranked first in global camel milk production. A Financial Times article has stated that the best real estate investment in the world today is beachfront huts in Somalia. Somalia is considered a future energy superpower with an estimated 110 billion barrels of oil, 1/3 of the world's uranium reserves, the strongest wind power potential in the world, and 3,000 hours of sunlight annually. Somalia is a continental leader in mobile money, with a market worth $32 billion a year, which is larger than the economies of Albania and Jamaica. Somalia has the cheapest internet cost per gigabyte in Africa, and more than 70% of adults use a mobile phone. Somalia's Milky Sea is the largest bioluminescent area in the world, and with a total of 649 species, Somalia is a hidden bird watcher's paradise. Somalia has national parks, it has beaches, it has rivers, it has deserts, it has jungles, it has valleys, and it has stunning mountains. In 2020, because of its impressive economic reforms, Somalia has achieved debt relief and can finally focus on transforming the country and harnessing its vast potential. This is Somalia.
Tell me exactly, which one among these did you know? Life is just a school of its own. We learn each and every day. Welcome to Somaliland. And this is another story, because I'm going to show you the difference between Somaliland and Somalia in the next episode. Don't miss out, manze. Just subscribe, ring that bell for notification. Welcome to the Horn of Africa.